Alright guys, I'm going to guide you through a quick little rope flow warm-up. Alright, so if you're just starting, first thing you're going to need is your rope. Alright, I'm going to do a whole video guys on how you can make your own. But real quick, go Home Depot, get your own rope, cut it about yay long. Depending on your skill level where you're starting out, you might want more slack. You have a little counterweight on the handles. Alright, and you're ready to go. So our first move is going to be our basic overhand, okay? So what we can do is start with two hands. Okay, and you're also going to learn how to do it with one hand, guys. So practice one hand at a time, going back and forth. And I'm doing two on each side, two circles, all right? The rope is going to spin outside of my hand. What we're going to do is we're going to practice using that internal external rotation of the body, okay? We're going to do it at our various joints. So our wrists, it's going to be a big one for a lot of people, the shoulder, and we're going to work it all the way into the hips and generate all of our power from the spine. That's going to be the rewire for your body to actually generate the power from the core, okay, and then make it easier and basically use less energy with all the outer movements, all the external energy of your limbs as you're moving, as you get into faster and more complex kind of flows and movements in training, all right? So back to our overhand, 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? So now what we can do is we can add this figure 8 hand motion here, what we call race and chase, all right? So race and chase, all right, you're gonna start with whichever is comfortable on the top. One hand's racing, other chasing. Okay, start with them connected at first, guys, and then you can add some added flow and movement to that figure 8 to make the figure 8 bigger, smaller, tighter, and control that racing and chasing. And notice how, to exaggerate the movement, we're going to get more of that elbow up and down pointing polarity, that variation to our inner and outer rotation, okay, our internal and external rotation, right? So then we can switch legs while we're doing it, right? We can switch sides, lead hands, okay? Same thing, right? You can start to add those balances and variations into the workout, right? So I'm going to take you through a couple more. We'll try some new ones as we go, but that's going to be our basic movement, okay? And then we're going to add in the matador, where we're going to come with the second overhand, kind of like the matador movement, right? To evade the charging bull. So here we go. Okay, so start with race and chase. One side, okay? Switch hands, switch sides, race and chase. Okay, so ideally you're going to do this circuit a couple times on your own just to get warmed up. And focus on using your core. Kind of starting to find the variation. Relax your arms, get the back and forth weight shift, side to side. Here we go. Start breathing into the movement. Use that core. Alright, so now we're going to add the matador, secondary overhand. Okay, swing, over, swing, over, swing, over. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 2, right? Good, alright. Let's go back, okay, to the race and chase. Okay, now let's try the one-handed race and chase. Alright, so you're going to have to work the overhand movement of the wrist. Okay, and bring the pinky up on reverse, roll the wrist back. Internal, external rotation. Okay, and you can add more of that shoulder and elbow movement in there. You need sort of less wrist, or you can get away with less wrist, certainly, if you move the shoulder. But you can also add in those doubles and those variations. Right, and we'll go on the other side. Work that wrist over, under. Still shifting the weight, guys. Breathe deep. Okay, back and forth. You want to feel that rhythm, back and forth, right? Okay. And switch to get the elbow involved more here. Okay, really bring it back and through. Moving the thoracic, upper body, upper part of the spine more. You can add some secondary swings. See if you can add that door here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back to the two-hand. Next swing, round, swing, round, swing, round. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so just try to find that back and forth bounce, guys, that makes the movement more effortless, and get comfortable switching between singles and doubles, right? Right? More an internal, external rotation, okay? So this is just kind of a warm-up introduction where you're going to be able to practice and get comfortable with some of these basic movements. One arm and two arms, okay? So what you guys can do is go back and forth between that. Do around 3 or 4 rounds. And once you get more comfortable, try to add a little bit more speed, get a little bit more cardio, but you're really opening up the ability of your nervous system, your fascia, to communicate better with all these internal, external movements that are so important for your joints and for everyday movement, okay? So as you get to go faster, add those switches in, right? Okay, same thing. You can have more of a jump, switch, 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 okay? Go back to singles, right? Or a single arm, excuse me. You can go back to doubles on each arm. So the Matador single arm. I'm not sure if that's the official name on that one, so don't quote me. All right? But once you're when you're still starting out, which technically I'm in my first real month of learning this, guys, you're gonna want to have opportunity to shift back and forth and really train it into your nervous system, get yourself more comfortable with the movements overall, all right? So we'll go back into it. This time we're gonna add a little bit of a leg movement. All right, here we go. So kick up the speed so it's more like a gyroscope. Hold your balance in, right? We're gonna sit back, up, switch, okay? Sit back, down, and up. And you're gonna hit the ground on the way down. Your arms are gonna have to come up, okay? It's gonna help you start to evolve and train the lower body a little bit, all right? Next one, okay, we can slow it down. All right, we're gonna add same movement, one leg, boom, balance, okay? Let's start with the first, race and chase. Good, switch it, okay? About 10-15 seconds each leg. All right, about 10 to 15 reps either way. And switch, and then race, chase. With the Matador now, okay? Switching it up. Matador, overhand still. Everything, keep it simple for now. All right, switching it back. This time, I'm gonna go to one arm, okay? Singles. So race and chase one arm, switch, chase one arm, all right? Switch, throw a Matador in for transition. All right, switch. All right, now you're gonna switch hands. You're gonna switch hands. Okay, so we got 48 reps. All right, do this 2 more times. Good. This side. Okay. Challenging the balance on both sides of your body. Alright, so now we're going to go a little bit faster and switch. Switch. Yes. Alright. And come back down 2 feet. And just get a nice cool down rhythm. Finish with a nice smooth race and chase. It's really trying to accent the downward bounce, because that's what gives us, that's what's going to give us that upward pushing spring. Okay, so just finish out with ideally 5 to 20 minutes cool down. Just that could be some stretching, that could just be more rope flow, just getting in the groove. Find your breath, trying to find your breathing in there. Like I said, finding that downward bounce. All right, so that's an overhand tutorial. We'll get more into some of the underhand movements. Very much the same, but now the upward bounce is with this sort of uppercut, underhand style movement to follow through. So we'll cover more on that stuff next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you like it. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. Help us build the channel. I want to give you guys, really just everything as far as the rope flow is going to help tie together a lot of the training stuff, that I want to get into, and then build more from there. But the reason why I like the rope flow, because it helps really tie a lot of the things together. It's very simple. Anybody really can do it. Like I said, you can go to your local Home Depot, basically get started today, and I will be having the official versions for you guys soon, and also on the channel. Check down below, and we'll try to get that linked up as soon as possible. So if you do want to try the difference, but I believe this one's probably as close as you're going to get this style of weight, and then of course you can add variations with ones that are heavier. So we'll talk about that one later on. This is a thicker style. It's a little bit heavier. But yeah, when it gets into that, I want to make sure we have those options. I have all those linked up for you guys. So that's it for today. Thanks again for tuning in, guys.